Hi, everyone. Welcome to our market update. You know what? I was going to do the numbers first, but you know what? David says he has an exorbitant amount of information that he wants to provide, so I'm going to let him go first.
So we had a really big week. And for those of you out there who are wondering, I know me and Vinnie have been mentioning a lot of things about there's limited housing, there's limited availability, there's not that many listings. And then still some of you keep saying, I'm going to buy when the foreclosure wave hits. I'm going to buy when the market crashes. And so I thought I'd share some data with you. So
it's happening tomorrow.
What's that?
It's happening tomorrow.
It is?
Okay. Oh, I thought that I was trying to guess.
Oh, no. That's when the unicorn's showing up. That's why I wore this unicorn shirt. Just the housing market's going to collapse when I get to ride a unicorn. So here's some data that came out. So in a usual market from quarter two to a usual basis, we have 40,000 foreclosures.
Okay.
From Q2 to Q3 this year, 25,000 foreclosures. So that means we're still 70% down on foreclosures to pre-pandemic. So for those of you out there who still think the giant foreclosure wave is coming, the math isn't there.
Well, I mean, and I could be misunderstanding you. The difficult part about it is even though you could technically foreclose on people, right? The
difficult thing is that.
Yeah, so talking to a short sale negotiator, right? He was saying that a lot of these banks don't understand what's currently in place even now as things have opened back up. So we might see more of a change happening over the next couple months, even though you're allowed to foreclose on loans now, right? Yet a lot of these banks don't know the full procedures of what's going on. They're kind of scared. So yes, that's true. And just like we're all kind of going by the wayside. You remember when PPP loans came about? Everyone's like, okay, what goes on? Okay, you can go to any banker and you can apply for a loan, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of fun, figuring out on the fly. So I think we'll have a better understanding of that data end of the year, maybe in a couple months.
And just because you can, yes. And just because you can okay, here.
Okay.
Thank you. And just because you technically can foreclose on people right now, do you want to be Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase that has a client go public because they had COVID and you foreclosed on them? So that's the other wild card. Now to jump back in, Goldman Sachs. Have you ever heard of Goldman Sachs, Vinnie?
That's a small little entity.
Yeah, they have a little bit of money. They released their prediction for the housing market for 2022. They're predicting at the end of 2022, housing will be up another 16%. Kind of bold. Another thing. Thank you. Another thing I wanted to touch on was, I know me and Vinnie have been talking about when's the Fed going to taper? Well, the Fed minutes came out yesterday on Thursday. And strangely enough, they want to start that, making a formal announcement in November. Somebody made these predictions a while ago. We're not going to mention who they were, but someone did. Someone also predicted that they were going to start the tapering process in December, and they actually released that in their Fed minutes, saying that their goal is to start tapering in December. So what does that mean for you? It means that basically when the Fed is not buying mortgage-backed securities, interest rates will go up. Now, with that being said, they said, when is the Fed going to start increasing its lending window? It said near the end of 2022, the Fed expects to increase its lending rate. So that's more data. Another thing, because I'm going kind of fast here, because I want Vinnie to be able to jump in and do things, is a lot of you have been hearing this stuff. Am I going to get my goods for Christmas? Why are costs up? Is inflation real? Is it fake? Is this really happening? Well, the Case Freight Index, which is the index that tracks all shipping of freight in the United States, came up and said year over year shipping costs are up 31%. What does that mean to you? It means your goods cost more, which now goes into the producer price index for wholesale products. What does this measure? It measures inflation. As of September, inflation rose another 0.5%. So now average inflation is 8.6% on the wholesale level. That's the people who are selling you the goods. So does that mean your goods cost more? Shipping up, wholesale goods up. Finally, one I want to touch on, for those of you who don't use food or energy, this doesn't pertain. But if you do use food or energy, you're going to look at what's called the PPI. PPI in September was up another 0.2%. So now it's quoted at only being 6.8% inflation rate. If you remember, the Fed wanted a 2% inflation rate. So we're a little bit higher than that. So what does all this mean to you? Overall picture, I don't think inflation is going down. Rates are going to slowly start ticking up a little bit, but your major hikes are not going to probably happen until the end of 2022. But as far as for those of you who are trying to get in now, you're talking to a lender. Make sure your lender's following the market. Make sure they do try to start locking in things before the official announcement in November, because I do think it's coming. And next week, we have a huge week of housing starts. So why am I mentioning housing starts? Because, Vinnie, do we have a shortage of inventory in the housing market? Ooh, so it's probably a good idea that we know if housing starts are going up and more permits are being issued. And we'll find that out next week. And I'm sorry for talking so long.
Yeah, it's actually
sorry.
funny.
I told you I had a lot of stuff today.
Very long.
I'm a super nerdy geek, and I had all my notes. I'm like, man, this is so exciting. This is more exciting than a cowboy at a dude ranch.
No, I did not freeze. It just hurt my face a little bit. All right, let me go into the numbers. All right. As you can tell, we're sitting fairly consistent in that 700 ballpark. Yes. I mean, we're not getting as that inventory as David talked about. The positive is the cannibalization of the market has trickled down a tad bit. Instead of 114, 104, 104, 114, we're at 94% of new inventory being sold. So that's at least some kind of positive right there. Across the board, we have roughly 2,500 properties active on the market right now. Coming soons have trickled down also. Pending properties, we're a little consistent to where they were last week. So we kind of want that number to trickle down too. So we want that demand to kind of trickle down if we're having inventory come in the market at a lower rate. So things to think about across the board, nothing really, really drastic compared to last week. Something that I kind of wanted to get into that was kind of interesting is Coronado. So year to date compared to last year to this year, the exact same amount of single family homes in Coronado went on the market. So that was kind of interesting. They did go at a 23% higher clip. So that's one thing. We have got more inventory in Imperial Beach. We're familiar with Imperial Beach, coastal area, 21% jump for single families. Not as drastic in the townhome condo market. And then chose Fallbrook. If you're not familiar with Fallbrook, same kind of thing. It went up a tad bit of new inventory compared to last year this time, but it did go up at 22%. So again, you're probably questioning, all right, well, are we going to go up another 20%, 24%, 25%?
I hope not.
Here? I mean, if I was a betting man, I would say we shouldn't be going up that high. Hopefully, demand starts trickling down a bit. But as David talked about, rates are going to sit fairly consistent, maybe go up a tad bit. So that's
go up a little bit.
That's not going to help out. Just going up a little bit. We'll probably need to go up a lot to really cool that demand. So yeah, we'll see how the holidays goes. But if you're looking to buy during the holidays, yes, properties are on the market. Even in the low time, we're talking about 700 properties. Still 700 new properties on a weekly basis. So yes, if you're looking to buy, now's the time. And if people are looking to buy or sell during the holiday time, usually is because they really do need to sell. So things to think about. Thank you for watching, guys. We try to keep this 10 minutes or less. I know there's a lot of numbers, a lot of data going your direction. But if you have any particular questions that you want to reach out to us that we can handle on our next one, please reach out. Thanks, everyone.
Vinny, I just realized something. We have so much important data. We may have to start doing show notes.
Oh, that'd be kind of nice.
Huh, I mean, because all the data we're giving, helping consumers be educated, and I do think rates are going to get 0.25% higher. I think your new norm is going to be 3.25 to 3.375, which is going to be heart shattering for everybody that was used to 2.75. So I do think that's going to be a psychological impact. But
you know what?
It's still good.
The most important thing I really want to say, though,
no way,
is